In previous decades, life in the United Arab Emirates was quite different from now. The UAE consisted of 7 British colonies with no one political existence. Nature was very cruel upon its young. The desert occupies 65% of the whole land, and as a result, man in the UAE faced many hardships. The wandering people of the desert became drawn to the sea and began to realize some of the benefits it could provide. As time passed, they began to settle along sections of the coastline, and their lifestyles gradually advanced from the goatskin tents onto palm leaf or barasti huts, and then onto brick buildings. That grim and dark period vanished with the discovery of oil, which became the first source of income in the UAE. The oil eruption made deep and important changes in the economical, cultural and social life in the country. An average of $4 billion a year have been pumped into development over the past 2 decades. It was the desire of His Highness Sheikh Humaid bin Rashid Al Nuaimi, member of the Supreme Council and the ruler of Ajman, to record the life of the pioneers. It was his belief that as history is a living witness and a fertile resource for generations to come, so museums are the fertile memory for history. Accordingly, Sheikh Humaid ordered construction of the Ajman Museum. In May 1991, His Highness Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, the President of the Emirates, together with His Highness Sheikh Humaid bin Rashid Al Nuaimi and His Highness Sheikh Hamad bin Mohammed Al Shaki, ruler of Al Fujira, opened Ajman Museum. Although he used the oil wealth to transform the desert life, Sheikh Zayed is also using the same wealth to preserve the national heritage and has encouraged the setting up of heritage villages. His Highness was keen to tour the Ajman Museum and spent some time discussing the objects on display. The Ajman Museum is located in the old castle, which is now considered an historical landmark. The origins of this castle date back to around 1775. At the end of his tour, the President Sheikh Zayed was presented with a memento of his visit, an ornamental knife. The museum becomes a panorama which tells and shows the visitor a grand picture of life in the UAE and in Ajman in particular, through the examples of the popular market, coffee pots, the old equipments of cultivation and hunting, the jobs which the grandfathers knew, the manuscripts and the artifacts which belong to the very old ages. The life of the inhabitants in the UAE depended previously on the sea. Its resources constituted one of the major pillars of the region's economy long ago. Diving to look for pearls was a demanding task full of danger, but it was a school which teaches courage and patience. In addition, it was the first source of a means of living. The divers held onto a rope attached to a heavy stone and, after filling their lungs with air, dropped to the sea bed. The number of ships which shared annually in diving numbered about 2,000 around the whole of the United Arab Emirates. Once down to the seabed, the divers swam around, seeking the oysters and collecting them in a small string basket hung around the neck. When the basket was full, or when they needed fresh air, they tugged on the rope and were pulled back up to the surface. There they rested a short while and continued to repeat the operation. At the end, both crew and divers sat together and opened the oysters, seeking the precious pearls hidden inside. Besides fishing, the coastal citizens perfected the construction of different ships in size and kind, such as the shoei, the sambuk, the bagla, the galboot, alboom, and other such ships. These were used in hunting and diving, trade, for traveling, and for transport. Building ships is connected with making fishing equipment. The most important of these is the garhoor, for catching fish, made previously from the palm leaves, then in the last decades made from metal wires. While the men were fighting nature at sea, fishing and diving for pearls, the young children went to school. There, they received religious instruction and studied the world sciences at the hands of volunteers. The women learned the productive manual industries, such as weaving on the loom and making articles for the home from palm branches. The region became famous for making pottery. The location of the Northern Emirates is perfect for such industries, as there is plenty of red clay which is necessary. Such pottery products were exported to the rest of the Emirates and to other Gulf countries. The Bedouins could tame birds. They knew hunting. The Arabs praised the matter of hunting and praised the man who eats from his own skill. Hunting using hawks became one of the most prominent sports and old hobbies. The hawks were trained to hunt rabbits and other birds. The hunting journey could take days and sometimes weeks, according to the number of hunts and the available time. To practice such great popular sport, many sheikhs traveled to different hot-world deserts with their fellow men. Such a sport received much support from His Highness Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, the Emirates President. He sees in hunting a popular heritage and encourages the children to practice it and to know its art. The training hawks for hunting takes a long time and requires great effort. There are many artifacts used in training hawks, such as al-wakar, al-masal, al-makhalam, al-burqa, al-mikla, and al-bukhwa. The people of the UAE came from the Arabian Bedouin who spread from the Arab Peninsula. Life in the desert obliged the Bedouins to depend on a suitable means of transport in the endless desert so long ago. And that means of transport became camels. Their caravans crossed the desert to and fro, carrying goods between the coastal cities and the cultivated oases in the desert. They also carried the families who came from cities to visit the cultivated regions such as Al-Batna, Al Ain, Liwa Oasis, Ras Al Khaimah, and others. The families spent many months in the area. The regions were famous for their beautiful nature, the abundance of water, and the dense palm farms. The most important plants are limes, mango, guava, shake shack, nuts, watermelons, vegetables, tobacco, and varieties of palm trees. The youth in such an environment have a great burden on their shoulders, imposed by nature, such as bringing water for the animals. And helping in the construction of houses made from the goat skins. The occasions of marriage in the UAE have special rites. The most famous of these are the heritage dances, which express manhood and gallantry, and also the special arrangements of the bride for such a happy night. Camels mean a lot to the people of the desert. Apart from providing milk for drinking, they are also a good companion on the road and transport across many generations. Now it's deserving the prize it needs in the Arabian camel races, part of the magnificent heritage. The sailboat races and rowing make the citizens go back to the memories of diving and those empty, carefree days. As a result, there is now an official and popular interest to develop and encourage such sport, and boat races are organized every year, with tourists enjoying the unusual sight. Our popular Bedouin heritage has many aspects concerned with the first era of man's life, especially those shapes which are expressed in childhood world. Amongst those shapes, there are many various popular games which help to strengthen body and spirit together and reinforce the importance of playing upon children, both boys and girls. They have their special games which were practiced before by the old people. Those most famous games for boys are Al-Tebah, Al-Graba, Al-Musta, Habel Al-Zabin, Al-Thur, Mufta Al-Eid, Al-Hul, Al-Migla, Al-Hasht, Al-Zabut, and Al-Halusa. The girls also had their games, the most popular of which were Al-Sakla, Al-Marihana, Al-Kahif, Al-Lai Plays, Yanawi Likun, and Al-Kaf. The popular arts cannot be isolated away from the culture and the heritage of the people in the UAE. This is because there are many various arts with their rhythms and tones. They are also considered a symbol of courage and gallantry. For example, Al-Ailela symbolizes 2 rows of ashawas or fighters who meet to fight on the rhythm of the drums. On the 2nd of December 1971, in the UAE, the dreams of the grandfathers became reality. And from that date began the transition from ancient to modern. The flag was raised high to mark the unity of Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Sharjah, Fujairah, Al Ain, Quwain and Ajman. In the years since the formation of the United Arab Emirates, Ajman has blossomed from its simple beginnings of goatskin tents and palm leaf huts to be replaced with the busy modern city one sees today. Now, Ajman has become a civilized city in the full sense of the term. This is because of the improvements and the flourishing of life movement in its different forms and aspects under the leadership of His Highness Al-Sheikh Humaid bin Rashid Al Nuaimi, member of the Supreme Council and ruler of Ajman.